Hi everyone, my name is Glenda with SureFit Designs. In this video, I'd like to talk about making bodice designing really simple with your SureFit Designs dress kit and of course the bodice pattern. And we're going to look at symmetrical and asymmetrical designs. Symmetrical, of course, means that one side is exactly the same as the other, and asymmetrical means that they're not. If we look at the blouse that I'm currently wearing, this is definitely asymmetrical because I've got the pleats only on one side and there is a tab going on top of the pleats. So let's take a look at some, first of all, symmetrical designs. But first of all, depending on what the design actually is like, sometimes it's far easier to draw off both a right and a left side of your pattern and then tape them down the center. Or if your vellum is wide enough for your body circumference, you can draw it all in one. Then let's take a look at what is called the crossover design. It's also called a surplice bodice, where one side crisscrosses over top of the other. For that, you're going to start up at the neck point on your shoulder line and cross over center front and end up somewhere down in this dart space. Well, in order to know where you're going to end up, that's a very logical reason to have both the right and the left side drawn out. And then, once it's drawn out, it would look like this. And you can see exactly how that pattern is going to sit. And I should say before I forget that I'm working here without seam allowances. So with any design that I show you, please make sure that you add seam allowances afterward. So that's the crossover or surplice bodice front. Another quick one that you might like to do is a double-breasted front. Because it crosses over so much into the left side of your body, then that's another good reason to have right and left side drawn out. So I've done a cute little design here that is a double-breasted effect, and I've brought the crossover into the left bodice, and I've done a pretty little scoop neck on here. Now, how this curve came about was by using the designer's companion, and I used this curve right here. It looks like this to draw that curvature, and then I flipped it to draw the curvature heading up in towards the neckline. So it's a real handy little tool. Then, once you've got the bodice drawn out, you can decide whether you want to have buttons just on the left-hand side or on the left and on the right-hand side. It all depends how you'd like your finished garment to look. Now we're going to talk about true asymmetry, where one side really is different from the other. And let's just do a simple neckline. If we line up this sample on top, everything in the right and the left-hand side is symmetrical except for that neckline. And this is an off-centered V-neck. And again, very, very important now to make sure you've got both the right and the left side drawn. And the other thing to keep in mind is that when you're writing on your pattern as to what you've done, this is a circumstance where you would be cutting one with the face up. Whereas in the first two examples that I showed you, the surplice and the double-breasted, you would use one pattern and cut your fabric double. All right, now we're going to take a look at a blouse that I've got right here. And for this blouse, it's very definitely an asymmetrical design. It buttons up only on one side, and when I unbutton this, you'll see the inside is different from the other side. In other words, this left side pattern is very different from the right side pattern. So the right side pattern has this little flip back at the neckline. And I'm going to show you how to design that and what both the pattern pieces will look like when it's finished. So taking a look at the pattern here, I am going to start first of all by tracing the right side in this fashion. And it was an arbitrary and random decision of where I wanted that to cross over and how far I wanted it to cross over. But I made it go right down through the apex and the center of the waist fitting dart on the left-hand side. Then I drew on the right-hand side what I wanted that flip back collar to look like. All right? Then you take another piece of tracing vellum and lay it over top, draw that collar piece that would look like that. Now, to get it all in one with the body of the right-hand side, all you do is flip that back in that fashion, and then you would simply tape this down like this. And when you've got that in finished position, now you've created your right side cutting pattern. And of course, that's going to be right side, face up, cut one, so that when you've cut it and you've sewn it, this will flip back into position. You can see how easy that is. Now, the left side, let me just remove that, and I'll get my left side pattern piece. As I lay that down in place, it would look very much like this. So I just arbitrarily again decided how far over I wanted it to come underneath the right side and made my angled line, slight V-neck on the blouse, and it looks like this. And there's the left side pattern. So it's all very simple to do. This is just a very, very quick technique for you to get the right and left side very, very visible when you're designing a pattern. Again, please do make sure that when you're done, you add seam allowances all the way around. The other thing you might be asking is, what do I do with all those darts? Well, those darts are going to be left for another lesson, likely coming up on our next DVD. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Gives you a little bit more tips and helps on making designing really easy with your Sure-Fit Designs patterns.